Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the occasional bonus live video. To subscribe, just hit that big red subscribe button down below, and it's totally free to subscribe. Today's video, we're going to show you how to make a really fun striped decal. This is one of the coolest things I've seen made, and I'm so excited to show you guys how to do this. We are going to use Arteza holographic vinyl, as well as the 17-piece hobby knife set. Now, Arteza did send me the knives and the vinyl to do this tutorial, and I thank them very much for that. It is awesome. I love these products. They're great. I'm going to have some links down below for you guys to shop through Arteza. Great company. Really love their products. I love the knife set because it comes in its own little box, which is awesome. It also comes with a cutting set as well as 3 knives and 13 different blades that you can use with your knives to help you cut around lots of different things. We're going to use this to cut our vinyl into the strips, and it's so easy to do with these knives. And then I got the 8 pieces, the 8 sheets, 12 by 12 holographic vinyl. I have used this stuff a ton, and I absolutely love it. This is the blue and green hues, and I just think they're so pretty. You get a ton of really great colors with this set, and they color shift so beautifully. These look gorgeous indoor or outdoor and can be used in both places. This is a permanent adhesive vinyl, and one of the things that I really like about this product is that it's really soft, so it's easy to use and cut. I always recommend doing test cut settings when you try a new material, but this one cut really beautifully, and I really like it. And I like that it cuts fairly small details, and it's outdoor use, which is great. So you can put this on your car or on a sign. Lots of great options for this. This is one of my favorite colors right here. It's got a beautiful pink shift to it, and it's so pretty. So we're going to go over to Design Space so I can show you how to set up and know how much vinyl you need for your decal. Then I'm going to show you how easy it is to cut with the hobby knife set, and then we're going to set it all up on the mat, and then we get to cut it. I'm using an image from Design Space called Kind is Cool. You can find it in the Design Space images. Now, to make this design, it's going to be really easy with the striped decal that we're going to do. But I always like to just see how many strips I need to cut in order to cover my whole design. Now, with this, it's about 6.1 inches tall and about 8 inches wide. So I'm actually going to just change it to be 8 inches total wide, just so I have a normal number. Now what I'm going to do really quick is just make a square. So I'm going to unlock my square. I'm going to change my height to 1 inch, and let's just change our width to 9 to make sure that we can cover the whole decal. Now remember that Design Space gives you kind of a funky couple, like about ½ an inch at the top, maybe ¼ inch. So what I'm going to do is just line this up about the top to the top, and I'm just going to duplicate it and line it up down here. Doesn't have to be exact right now, it's fine. Duplicate that again, line it up. I'm gonna move this one up just a little bit. Duplicate again, line it up, just to make sure that I have enough strips cut to cover our entire design. This is just a visual so that I can kind of see about how many 1-inch strips I need to cut. And you always want to make sure that you have just a little extra just in case. So it looks like we are going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is about what I figured, but I like to play it safe, so I will probably cut out 8. So you can go ahead and get rid of all of your squares. I just select them all and then just delete them. And this is the design that we're going to do. So let's click Make It, and it's going to put this on our mat for us. I'm going to take you over and show you guys the really cool knife set that I have, and we're going to use some really gorgeous holographic vinyl from Arteza. For this project, we're going to use the blue and green tone holographic self-adhesive vinyl from Arteza in 12 by 12 sheets, and then we're going to use this awesome 17-piece hobby knife set. This set is so cool. It comes with a ton of different knife blades, and I love it. It has ones for all sorts of little details, and it comes with 3 different types of knives. So we'll open that up. And it also comes with a little cutting board, which is super handy. And I love that it comes in this little case. It's perfect. It's this nice little plastic storage case. The little mat goes right on top, and all your knives and blades are in here nice and easy to access everything that you need. These knives are fantastic, and I love this one. It's so easy to hold on to. I have a lot of trouble holding on to knives like this because my hands are always like butter fingers. So we're gonna go ahead and use these, and then I'm gonna show you this vinyl. This is so pretty. I love this. This is some of my favorite vinyl. It's gorgeous. So I'll show you each color, and I love the color shift in these. They're so pretty. And again, these are 12 by 12 sheets. These are adhesive and they are permanent. This green is super pretty. This pretty orangey one that kind of turns to like a blue color. So pretty. There's another shade of blue. There's a couple different shades of blue, which they all kind of look similar until you really start to move around, and then you see the different color shift in them. It's really pretty. This is like a purple to yellow color shift. Absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to use a bunch of these to do our designs. Now on the back, they have this really handy little grid, which helps you measure anything that you need to see. About 2.5 squares for this is 1 inch. So that's an easy way to remember that. So we're going to go ahead and use our knife, and we're going to use this one. This has a little bit thicker of a handle, and I really like it. It's super easy to control. I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side. You could use scissors, but for me, I think this is going to give me a really nice, easy to cut, clean line. And we may do slightly less than 1 inch for these because I think it'll be really fun to make a lot of colors on this. So all I'm going to do is go right down here. Make sure to keep your fingers out of the way. These are very, very sharp. Safety first. I am cutting on top of a Cricut self-healing mat. The little mat they send is great for small cuts, but because we're cutting the full length of this 12 by 12 sheet, I wanted to make sure that I cut it on something a little bit longer, and I don't think I pressed quite hard enough right there. Oops. Right here. Okay. Just go back through and just recut one little spot that I missed. Perfect. So now we have one. So we're just going to do 2 squares for each color. I think that will be perfect. It's a little less than 1 inch, but I think that's going to look really fun, and we'll be able to fit way more of these colors in here. So we'll just do that to each of these sheets, and I'll go ahead and speed this up for you guys. Now that we have all of our strips cut, it's really important you want to make sure you put your knife back into its box. That way you keep everything nice and safe. Safety first, always. You don't want to cut yourself. They are very sharp, but super handy to have. Once we've cut all of our strips, we're going to line them up. Now I'm going to use a blue Cricut mat because it's extra sticky. This is brand new. I've only used it twice, so it's still nice and sticky. So what I'm going to do is flip it this direction so that the top is facing me. And then you can lay your strips out in any pattern that you want. I'm going to try to break up some of these blues with some of these yellowy, orangey colors. That way we don't have a ton of like the blue shades next to each other, and I think this will look really, really pretty. So what I'm going to do is take this strip and just line it up on the top of our mat and press it down. You want to make sure it's well held down because it is a small piece. Then I'm going to take the next strip and I'm going to line it up right with the bottom of this one. And we'll line that one up. And then we'll take our next color and line it up. Now if you have a teeny tiny little gap, I wouldn't worry too much about it. The decal will still look fine. But just keep in mind, you want to try to cut these as straight as possible. You can always trim them a little bit if they're not fully straight. If you need to, you can go ahead and do that. And again, there's no wrong way to lay out this pattern. You can lay it however you want, whatever kind of style you want, whatever color order you'd like to go. Like I said, for me, I just kind of wanted to break up some of the blueies so that they were just a little more separate than some of the others. And I know one of these is cut real wonky because I slipped when I was cutting it. It's this one. So what I'm going to do is put this guy next. That way I don't have to trim anybody too much. And then I'll do this one last. We should have plenty of space here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors. We'll double check and make sure that everything's going to fit on our design, just to be sure, because we don't want to cut it and have it not fit. But I love how the colors look together. Isn't that pretty? This is going to be really cool once we cut it. So let's go over to Design Space so that I can show you how to make sure that what you have put on your mat is going to fit your decal. Now that we've cut out our strips, go ahead and click Make It. You can look at where your strips land on your mat, so against the grid on your mat, to make sure that it's going to fit. It might be a little bit tight, so what I'm going to do is cancel this, and I'm just going to make this just a hair smaller, just to make sure that it's going to fit. Go ahead and click Make It, and now we're ready to go. Click Continue, and we are going to cut this. I find that this cuts best on the light cardstock setting with less pressure. So we're going to go ahead and get this cut out. We are ready to load our holographic stripes into our machine. Go ahead and load that in. I always just double check, make sure everything is well stuck down, especially with so many seams. You just want to be sure everything is stuck down. We're going to let this cut, and I'm going to let you guys watch. Next is a super duper important step. So we're going to unload our mat, and we're not going to touch the vinyl off of the mat at all. We're going to go ahead and close our machine and get ready to weed. This part is super important. Do not take it off of your mat when you're ready to weed. If you do, it's going to be a jumbled mess and really hard to put back together. So what you can do is take one of your little craft knives, and we'll go ahead and bring one of these back out, because I'm going to cut off this edge, because I can always do like another little tiny decal, and I'm such a saver of my vinyl that I am all about making sure that I can have as little waste as possible. So what you can do is just take one of your knives, and you want to do this fairly gently because you are on your mat, but they do handle cutting pretty well. And I'm just going to cut a line straight down. That's going to help us with weeding as well, because we won't need to weed that part, and it's just going to be a little less vinyl that we have to contend with. So I'm going to get out my little weeding berry. Got my little weeding berry, and we're going to go ahead and weed this. I'm going to use a pin pen for this. And we're going to go ahead and pull off the vinyl. Again, you could cut around this a little bit more if you wanted to, but I think that with this one, it's totally fine. Now, you may have some really small pieces because you cut these into little strips, so just be aware of that. So I'm just going to go color by color and pull off as many pieces as I can, and you're just going to want to go slowly. But you can see where I cut how much easier that is, because you're not trying to go all the way over here to weed. And I dropped this, so we'll go ahead and pull this off. And again, you may end up with some little pieces because of the way this cut, but it's so fun. I love the way that these look when they're all done. So I'm going to let you guys watch me weed this, and then I'm going to show you guys a trick to getting it off of the mat in order to apply it to your item. Now that you've finished weeding, it's time to apply transfer tape. So what we're going to do is just make a piece big enough to cover our decal. So we're just going to kind of cut it to fit. And this is definitely way bigger than I need, but that's absolutely okay. And all you're going to do is fit it over your decal. And I actually tend to like to make them a little bit bigger than I need, especially with something like this. And you're just going to lay it down over your decal. And we're going to go ahead and burnish it down. Now, this is where we cut this, remember? So they don't cut all the way through because I didn't want to press super hard. But now I can come back in with my knife, and I can go ahead and cut off the edge over here. It's a little bit easier to cut through just the backing on the Cricut mat, because you don't want to cut too deep on the Cricut mat because it's not self-healing. So you just want to give it a nice score line there. Go ahead and put your knife back away. And now we'll be able to take our pieces that we saved, because we can do another striped decal right off of this, just like this. Super duper easy. And that way you have all these little pieces left that you can do something else with, and you haven't wasted them. Now what we'll do, make sure this is well stuck to our transfer tape. So you're going to flip your mat over, and you are going to kind of curl it back. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I'm curling it back. And I want to make sure that all of my backing is coming off with my vinyl. You don't want to push too hard on the curl, just enough to kind of get it to curl off. And if you're having trouble getting one of them to curl off, that's okay. Just use your fingers and kind of push it off. Once you get to the end, take your mat, put that to the side, and I'm going to flip this over and show you how she looks. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the shine. I love the color, and this was so easy to do. The knives make it 100 times easier to do this, and like I said, they have a ton of different tips for lots of different needs and applications. It just makes it a lot easier to cut tiny little details and to make sure that you have those nice straight lines. They have a bunch of different styles. Here's the different types that they have. I just think this was such an awesome set, and this vinyl is absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to put this on something. I'm not sure what, but we will find a home for it because I think it's gorgeous. This comes in a bunch of different colors. The colors are Golden Hour, Lime Green, Tricky Orange, Fantasy Green, Frostberry Red, Mint Green, Emerald Green, and Aqua Blue. This vinyl is great for both indoor and outdoor uses, so this may end up on my truck. I think this is a great product. I can't wait to use more of it. I think it has such unique colors and shine, and these knives are a great little set to have for anything that you may need to cut with them. Plus the little cutting mat is a great little extra that you get. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the occasional bonus live video. I hope you guys had so much fun learning how to make a striped decal. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting!